Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to my panel. My name Amir Rizhan bin Muhammad Shafi. I will represent my final year project titled Detection and Classification of Vehicles with Different Speed using LTE-based Passive Forward Scattering Radar. First of all, in radar system, they have two categories, which is monostatic radar system and bistatic radar system. For monostatic radar, conducting detection when the transmitter and receiver is placed together. Otherwise, bistatic radar system conducting detection with separated transmitter and receiver by certain distance known as baseline. Next, forward scattering radar is an example of bistatic radar that detection experiment conducted when the target pass through between the transmitter and the receiver is nearly or equal to 180 degrees. After that, passive forward scattering radar is using commercial broadcast or communication signal as transmitter to do detection. Thus, it has low cost and simple to do. In this project, there have some problems that have been identified. First, illegal logging. Illegal logging is very harmful to our country. Second is AES improvement that known as automated enforcement system that capture the speed vehicles on the road can be improved by including this radar system. Third is trespassing border. Nowadays, a lot of people are trespassing of the Sarawak-Kalimantan border by using vehicles. Therefore, this project has come out three main objectives for this project. First is understand and identify passive forward scattering radar works. Second is to detect the Doppler signature of vehicle with different speed using LTE base. And lastly is able to classify the Doppler signature of vehicle with different speed using MATLAB. In the methodology, there are several parts. First is experimental site. Experimental site have to be considered of several conditions and aspects, such as safety of the experiment, then enough space to vehicle to accelerate, and third, the LTE signal at that place. We have been conducted at three different places as shown as this below. First, at Maef Sedang, which have a baseline between receiver and the transmitter about 453 meters, and second is Sungai Pelik with baseline 274 meters, and lastly at Kampung Yalas, Melaka, with baseline 924 meters. For second methodology, we have to go through for the vehicle detection. For vehicle detection, we have conducted the target of Produa Viva, which is a compact car. This car will act as a target with three different speed, which is 20 km per hour, 40 km per hour, and 60 km per hour. And we are conducted with two different lanes. First is a far lane, as shown as figure below. Distance of receiver and the target with about 8 meters. While the near lane consists of distance about 5 meters from receiver to the target. The last part of methodology is data processing, which is going through several parts. Firstly, the detection data time domain have been recorded into 20 seconds. From the 20-second time domain will be selected into 2-second time domain consists of Doppler signature of three different speed vehicles. After that, fast Fourier transform, known as FFT, will convert time domain into the frequency domain so that PSG will evaluate all the data in form of power frequency. Then all the data going to normalization before all the data will be classified into its cluster using principal component analysis or PCA, and classification can be identified to each cluster as displayed in the classification. So let's continue to our result and discussion at MAEPS for near lane and far lane of time domain. So based on these three different speeds, we can see that 20 kilometers of far lane and near lane have the furthest time domain compared to 60 km and 40 km, while 60 km can produce shortest time domain compared to others speed. This is because how fast the target is passed through between the receiver and the transmitter. And then if we can see, near lane is much better for the far lane, as we can observe at the 40 km amplitude is much higher than amplitude of the 40 km at the far lane. Power spectral density, and this we can conclude that nominal power of 20 km is higher at near lane compared to far lane. This is because the power received of the near lane is much higher than the far lane. If we take a look, 60 km is much higher frequency compared to 30 km. Therefore, we can conclude that the highest speed limit of vehicle can produce higher Doppler frequency. For PCA for near lane and far lane has been automatically 100% classified. This can be proved by using conversion metric. You can see there is no other data testing that overlap to other cluster either in near lane or far lane. Go through result and discussion for Sungai Pendek. This is a time domain for the near lanes and the far lane. As we can see, this result shows same as go to the MAEPS, which the higher the speed of the vehicles, the shortest time domain to the target to pass through the receiver and the transmitter. While the PSD, we can see also the nominal voltage at the near lane can result more power received than far lane. And classification for the near lane and the far lane also show the good 100% automatically classified by using conversion metric, while in far lane we can see that there are overlap between the cluster 60 km and 40 km, but there are no such data testing overlap between each cluster. This is the data is not sharing on the other each cluster. Lastly, for Kampung Nyalas, this is a time domain and for near lane and far lane. And then we can go to the PSD. We can see that far lane is power received is much lower compared to the near lane. And this for classification for PCA for Kampung Nyalas is the worst compared to other experimental site, because in a near lane, Kampung Nyalas for cluster 60 km, two data setting have been overlapped or sharing into the 20 km cluster, while 20 km cluster have one each of each data testing have been shared between cluster of 60 km and 40 km. That's why the confusion metric of total classification is much lower because of the overlapping and the sharing of the data testing, which dropped into 94.446%, while on the far lane they are only overlapped on data testing of 40 km at 60 km cluster, which decreased its classification percentage to 97.662%. As conclusion, passive forward scattering radar PFSR are successfully achieved and proved with experimental result. When the speed of the target high, the shorter period of time taken and producing high Doppler frequency. PFSR also is successfully classified the detection of 3 different speeds of vehicles. And last but not least, I hope this system can be implemented to detect very high speed targets such as airplane, high speed boat, and even a small size of drone. With that, thank you.